Hello, this is Brandy.
Hey, this is your man Dave again.
Welcome to episode 7 of Relationships and Family Matters. Dave.
Yes.
The last 2 episodes, we talked about calling it quits and
Yes,
when
we
it's
have.
time to call it quits. I just wanted to finish up. I feel like we didn't get a complete resolution on calling it quits. So just a few more things about calling it quits I wanted to bring up.
What did you want to bring up about calling it quits?
Well, I talked to you earlier today, and we had a conversation about dating and calling it quits. And I don't know, it just hit me that, and I think it's just from my experience, when I was dating and I wasn't happy. And I just feel like...
What do you mean you wasn't happy?
Well,
Why are you dating?
If you are dating someone, sometimes you're happy for a while and then you're not.
Okay.
So if you're dating someone,
so the fizzle went out. The fizzle.
Yeah, and yeah, I can say that was the case. If you're dating someone, even if it's for years, and you are not happy, and you just, for some reason, you come to that realization, hey, I'm not happy in this relationship, I think that's a good time to call it quits.
I agree. I think you get to a point that the relationship becomes stale.
Right.
And there's no excitement in the relationship anymore, especially when you're dating. If that happened, I think it's probably better to probably move on to greener. Well, I'm not going to say greener, but
No.
I would say maybe move on from that person, maybe find someone that's maybe a little bit more compatible on a relationship aspect.
And I think that you can be dating and think you're happy and think things are good, and then you may even just wake up one day and realize this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I wanted, and I don't see a future with this person.
I would be curious, if you're dating someone and you're not happy, you need to move on. That's
Some people get comfortable in a relationship.
They have to have someone in their life.
They have to have someone. They're comfortable, and they don't realize. I'm not sure why you don't realize you're not happy, but you come to a realization that you're not happy, and then I think that's a good time to say, hey, I'm going to cut my losses. We're not going to move forward. We're not getting engaged. We're not getting married because I'm not happy. I'm not going to be happy with this person in the future. So it's time to call it quits.
I agree. But I would say this. I think before you call it quits on a person, I think you need to be happy with yourself first.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go into a relationship and they're wanting someone else to complete them.
To make them happy.
To make them whole, to feel whole.
Yes.
You should never do that. You should feel complete, whole, 100 by yourself.
It's kind
then
of...
someone should add value to your life.
Right.
An additional, like you got the strawberry shortcake, you got the strawberries on there. Now you want the whipped cream. That's your soulmate. That's the person.
It's just the topping.
That's just to make your relationship, make life, you get up in the morning, make life worth getting up every day.
It's a fine line, though, because I think some people are happy with themselves, but they're looking for someone. Not necessarily to complete them, but they really want to be in a relationship.
That's fine. I understand. I think being in a good, healthy relationship is good, but don't get into a relationship to find happiness. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I think some people do. They're like, man, I'm just going to work every day. This. My life is, it's kind of boring. I need to find somebody to act me excited. And that's a part of a relationship. But I think you need to be happy. I wouldn't say happy, content. You're all in on yourself. Then you find somebody that will make your life even better.
I might disagree slightly, because you can be living on your own, content, pretty much happy with yourself, but still want to be in a relationship. I don't think that you should necessarily just be out on a hunt, though. I think maybe you should pursue a hobby, hang out with some friends. I think those are good ways to meet people.
Yes. Now you said be out on. You think I was saying going out on a hunt to find
Well,
someone?
I mean, not literally, of course, but I mean, just out looking, looking at bars, at
No.
wherever the case may be, just out there searching for someone. And people do that.
I think a good relationship should start just organic. It should be natural. It should be free.
We say that, but nowadays people are dating online. They are going online and searching, and that's not going to be an organic.
No, but I think you get the crazy guys or crazy women out of the picture. You would say, okay, you're going to have your categories. I want this person, this height, this whatever religion, whatever you want, put in your little profile. And I think from there, you're narrowing your
search.
Yes, narrowing your search, because when you meet someone, in the bar, they may not
meet any of that criteria that you're looking for.
So,
right.
Dating profile, I think it's a good idea. I'm not saying it's the best, or I think it can help in your dating pursue or your quest to find someone. I think it'd be a good idea if you go online.
All right. Well, I want to go ahead and move on to another subject. We have talked about calling it quits for a while, but I mentioned in our last episode about gender roles. So what does gender roles mean? To me, it means that in a relationship, traditionally, the man will take care of the car, the yard, and certain things. And then the woman, the wife, the girlfriend, she will do the cooking and the laundry and care for the kids. Those are typical traditional gender roles.
They are.
I think in our parents' days, and when they were young and newly married,
we both kind of grew up in the same type of household.
Yeah,
kind of
there
traditional.
were these clear-cut gender roles because you didn't see your dad cooking full meals, unless it was on the grill. And you usually didn't see your mom fixing cars. And I kind of laugh at that because I can't even imagine my mom, or your mom for that matter, working on a car. So what do you think about gender roles today? Do you think people still kind of do those roles that are traditional for a couple or not? Yes,
I do think people have gender roles. They may have transition a little bit different from the traditional, from the gender roles back in our parents, because your dad was just
60s and the 70s.
Your dad was just
what they did.
He worked on his car, he cut grass, he did a lot of physical type.
Yeah, the manual labor.
The manual labor. But now you see, even in our neighborhood, we see women cutting grass.
Not me, but we do see women cutting grass. Not Brandy. Not Brandy.
But Dave, he do a lot of yard work.
Well,
but you do see.
We also have a landscaper,
we do. Thank landscaping guys. They keep a yard pretty nice too. But going back, I think you see women cutting grass.
Yes.
You see a lot of women, even today. When I get my oil change, we go to a quick change oil place, and there are some women actually working in those industries now. So I think roles have changed. I don't think it's changed. It has flopped. You
mean like flip-flop?
Yeah, flip-flop. I don't think that has happened, but I think men are traditionally doing things that were back in the day untraditional. Like me, I go to the store. I do most of the grocery shopping.
Dave does the grocery shopping. Thank you, Dave. I don't care for grocery shopping.
Hand clap for me.
Yes.
But you see,
but I do most of the cooking.
Yes, you do. But I think a lot of men are doing men are cooking now. Men love to cook.
Oh yes, some really good
men are really
male chefs and cooks out there.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners know men out there. They probably cook the whole entire meal.
Oh yeah, cook better than their significant others.
Absolutely, or the girlfriend or whoever. But I think those roles have changed. Traditionally, my dad, he came home, the food was on the plate.
Food was on the table.
My mother fixed his plate.
Yeah.
Food, and he sat down. I think the caveman, grabbing a female by her hair and hitting her side of the head and dragging her back in. I think those roles have changed quite a bit. I think they're transition. I think they're kind of in the middle now. I think both women and men have kind of overlapped a little bit.
Yeah.
On the transition.
And that's fine with me. I was going to say I let you, but you go to the grocery store. You do laundry most of the time.
I do laundry, yeah.
But I do the majority of the cooking, and you are the master griller. I honestly can say
I get down on the grill.
I've never grilled before. I can honestly say that. I've never started a fire in a grill, or
Wow.
I've never done that before.
Wow.
I've never
Some listeners may gonna push back on that.
I have never mowed the lawn. I've ridden a riding lawnmower, but I've never used a push mower before.
Actually, I don't know about some listeners, but I think cutting the grass is very therapeutic, man. It's really, relaxes you.
Enjoy.
No, it does. I mean, trimming hedge. It's real. I mean, sometimes it can be a little tedious, but it's really relaxing in some ways.
My contribution to our yard and our landscaping is the flowers. I do plant flowers. I may have you dig the hole, but
yeah, I dig the hole, but she actually put the flower in the hole.
I plant the flowers. I maintain those flowers throughout the spring and the summer, and I enjoy looking out over the yard, the back and the front now. I enjoy looking over the yard and seeing my flowers blooming. It makes me feel, content to look out and see that.
But to answer your question, I think gender roles are changing in the modern society, especially this 2023.
Not a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think traditional roles fit that particular era. And I think a lot of people are traveling. People are so much busier. Back in the day, maybe the wife didn't work, the husband worked.
Oh yeah.
So I think now most households, I think husband and wives are working. So the household is a lot more busy. You have kids, so sometimes you may not able to cook a full balanced meal. Sometimes you may have to pick up something out of your local restaurant or here.
Okay, yeah, so, I do that a lot.
So people are not actually cooking on the stove as much. So roles are changing.
I know some men that stay home.
Yes.
That actually stay home. Their wives go and work. And when I say they stay home, they don't stay home and work from home. They stay home, care for the kids or the home or whatever, and their wife goes off to work every day. I know some people like that.
That would be absolutely tough for me to do.
Oh, I know it would be, and I would never ask you to do something like that.
No, it's not the point that you would ask, just my personality.
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. I would go crazy.
I know you would. Even during COVID, you didn't like staying home. Whereas I work from home, and I've worked from home since COVID, and I really enjoy working from home.
Well, I really enjoy working from the office.
Yes, I know you do. I like being at home, and I have no complaints about that. And I'm not saying that I will always be at home. There may be times where I will have a job that will require me to go to the office. So. Because we're going back to that now since COVID. Yeah. Gender roles have changed. Things have changed a lot over the years. But moving on from gender roles, I heard about a situation, and I know this happens a lot, and it could be either spouse or either partner, but there was a man who wanted to go to the movies, and his wife is always running late. So he ended up, he told her.
Agreed.
He told her what time, but he kind of fibbed a little bit. Instead of telling her the movie started at 1:20, which, movies kind of start at off time sometimes, he told her the movie started at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And told her to get ready, and it's a 20-minute drive. She wasn't ready, so he left her.
Wow.
He left her at home. He went to the movie, and he sat there and enjoyed the movie, even though she was calling like crazy.
This is a married couple?
This was a married couple.
Wow.
He left her at home because she was slow getting ready. And I'm thinking maybe this wasn't something she wanted to see. Maybe it wasn't important to her. But he said they had a conversation, and they discussed it. And then he went and left her because he didn't want to be late. I guess he wanted to see those previews. He wanted to get some popcorn. This was a movie he really wanted to see. So what are your thoughts on that? I don't think you've ever left me, but...
No, I wouldn't do that. But let me say, I wouldn't not leave my wife to go see a movie. But let me say this.
Even if it was something you really wanted to see, you saw the previews months ago, and we had made plans, okay, Brandy, we're going to see this movie on Saturday. And you were like, okay, we've got to leave. We've got to be on time. I want to see this movie. And when it came time to leave, I wasn't ready.
Yes. Well, let me say this. If we talked before, maybe a couple of days before, and we said, hey, we got to leave at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we discussed this. We got to leave Saturday at 1 o'clock. And it's 12:55 and you're not ready. I think I would probably be a little upset because you knew how important this was to me. And I think you should have valued that, how important to me. You should have been ready so we can leave together so I can enjoy this event or whatever it was, concert, whatever it was.
So in the moment, though, I mean, you can say after the fact, Brandy, I wish you had valued this event enough to be ready, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
What would you say in the moment? I'm not ready. It's 1 o'clock and I'm not ready. Oh, Dave, I still have to do my hair. It's not done yet. I'm not finished with my makeup, and I still got to get my dress on, and you have to zip it up for me.
Yeah, that would
What
be
would you say in the moment?
I really don't know what I would say. I don't know if I
What
would.
would you say?
I wouldn't leave you.
But you would say, Brandy, are you ready? Brandy,
yeah, that
hurry
would be
up.
a
Brandy,
very hard
are you aware of the
conversation.
time?
Yes,
Okay.
those were the things that we would talk about. I said we discussed this a week before.
Right.
So why aren't you ready? What did you do at 10, 9, 10?
Oh, yeah,
11,
you're good. You're good about that.
So I just think in a relationship, whatever's important to your spouse should be somewhat important. I'm not saying you should want to have it on the same level, but it should be important to you. But that's what makes a great relationship, valuing in each other, making sure he or she feels valued. And if he or she really wanted to see that movie,
really wanted to see that movie.
I mean, it was they were
high on his
Star
list.
Wars just came out. Whatever, you should like. Okay, he really want, or she wanted to see, or he want. You should be ready to leave at 1 o'clock.
All right, but you said you wouldn't have left her.
No, I would
or
not.
Me.
No, I wouldn't leave you, but I would be upset.
So you'd be upset.
That will probably have been an argument on the way to the theater.
On the way to the movie, we're running late, and we don't have time to get popcorn.
And you'll be talking about my driving the whole way.
Yes, that would definitely be a factor.
A conversation, yes.
Because
but
Dave would be driving like a madman.
But at that point, you should be okay because you made me late.
Well, if I'm fearing for my life, I don't know if I'm going to be okay, but I might regret running late because I'm fearing for my life at this point.
Yeah, but no, I disagree with the guy that left his wife there. I mean,
I'm wondering, like, did they not have another car? Could she not have gotten in the other car and drove? Now, I don't know their situation.
No,
maybe
I think she probably was upset that
she was just so mad.
She's
like,
I'm not even going there because he left
I'm not going to catch an Uber or a Lyft. I'm not going to go.
But she's blaming it all on him.
Right.
See, and that's, yes, she's blaming him, but she was late.
She was at fault.
She was at fault.
But then again, we don't know what was going on at 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
Well,
there may have been a kid situation, a babysitter issue. She may have had to take her kids across town. Okay. There may have been a reason why she was running late. There may have been a legitimate reason.
But listening to that couple, we did not hear. We
heard half of the story.
Yes.
We heard his side because he went to the movie. He knew she was calling. He turned his phone off and he sat back and he enjoyed that movie.
Well, why she's calling now? I mean,
because she's mad.
See?
And she didn't get in the other car and drive over there. She didn't take a Uber or a Lyft. Because listen, she probably could have gotten there a half hour later and still caught the beginning of the movie. Why? Because of the previews. The last movie we went to, We watched previews for half an hour.
Half an hour, at least.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, these previews, but I never want to be late for a movie.
But they're good previews. You get to see what's coming next.
Well, sometimes they're good
enjoy.
previews. But you want to get your popcorn. I need my popcorn.
You don't want to get popcorn while the movie's going.
I don't want to do that. And
because you miss part of the show. Like, oh, man, what I miss?
And sometimes you don't have your choice of seating. Well, the last movie we went to, they had reserved seating, which was fine.
Which is cool. I like that.
But I didn't know that until we got there. And if we had gotten there and didn't have a decent seat.
Yeah. Early bird, get the worm.
That's disappointing.
Yes.
Because you paid the same price, but your seat sucks. So it's like, I want to get there. But yeah, I agree with you. She should have.
Yeah, she should have
taken the effort, made an effort to be there or to be ready when he was ready to go.
Especially if he made a big deal about going to see this movie.
Right.
That should have been okay. Oh, my husband really wants to see. Let's really enjoy. Have
just
a great
started
date night.
A little bit earlier. I have a little bit more hair than you do, so I need to do my hair. And I need to do my makeup, so I may need to start a little earlier.
But it's also a movie. We're not going out to dinner. It's a movie, so it's going to be dark. So if somebody see you without all your makeup.
No, I still got to do my makeup and my hair.
Yeah, I see.
I'm not going to go just because that's when you run into somebody. I'm off topic, but that's when you run into somebody that you haven't seen in years when you're looking like. That happened to me the other day, and I was like, I'm looking so rough, but I just want to run in here and get something. And, of course, the second I walked in, I saw one of your coworkers.
And know what you always do?
What?
You always say, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to look like this.
No, I actually didn't say that because I don't really know your coworker that well. Okay. I had just met him, a few months ago, but I did run into him as soon as I walked up, and I thought, wow, I knew this was going to happen.
Cool.
Well, Dave, this has been a very interesting conversation.
Yes,
I will love to hear from our listeners. You can call us at 615-930-1251. That's 615-930-1251. You can also email us at brandyanddavidpodcast@gmail.com. That's Brandy, Brandy, and David podcast@gmail.com. All right, Dave, it's been fun.
Yes, it has.
Thanks so much.
Take care, guys. Peace.
Bye-bye.